But look at the bright side. You could be a Chiefs fan dealing with Andy Reid. That's as positive as I can leave it. But yeah.
Here I am, it's the on-campus kingpin, yes I am.
Gayle, talking about the tough loss to the New Orleans Saints. First of all, congratulations to the New Orleans Saints. You guys pulled this one out. For us Eagles fans, we're dealt a tough loss, especially losing the way that we did in the fourth quarter, as they winded down the clock and kicked a field goal, making it 26-24. I predicted beforehand that the score of the game would be 28-24. I think I put it in one of the comments of the last videos. But obviously the Eagles are the ones that scored 24, and the Saints scored 26. But it's a tough loss, man, especially, in a situation where everything played out pretty nicely. The fact that we had a home game, we had the Saints and Drew Brees in a cold atmosphere, cold climate. Just think about what they did to Drew Brees, our Eagles defense, a guy who's going to be a Hall of Fame quarterback in this league, who's still breaking records each week. Forcing a guy like Drew Brees to make mistakes, throw 2 interceptions, it's huge. D'Amico Ryans, Fletcher, making great plays. That's what you want to see out of a young defense. Man, it's tough to, when you lose by 2 points, you look at all the plays that were left out on the field, and that's what it forces you to do, especially when you're on the losing side of the ball. You're like, what plays could you had back? You look at the missed field goal by Alex Henry. You look at Nick Foles taking a sack. With all that time to throw the ball, you have LaShawn McCoy. Your check down guy is there. He was there. He missed them on that. You had Deshaun Jackson cutting across, who you could hit, but he ate the sack. Took a loss of yards there. That was huge, especially when prior to that the Eagles were on the 15-yard line. In that first play they took they tried to throw a tight end screen, lost about 10 yards, 8 to 10 yards on that play. Huge. I thought Foles could have looked somewhere else. That was huge. They read that. But those are opportunities where during the game where I'm screaming at television, why are they not giving it to LaShawn McCoy on a first down, leading rusher in the NFL, set up this offense by putting it on LaShawn McCoy's back is what I wanted to see. I thought they didn't really start running shady until later in the game, but I really thought you could have gave it to him 2 times in a row to soften up the defense. But yeah, Nick Foles did not play his best football. There's a lot of times he did not pull the trigger. We've seen Nick Foles be phenomenal this season, in this playoff run that the Eagles have had. He's had a phenomenal year in that sense, putting up solid numbers. But the reality is, in the big games, he's kind of disappeared, and he today was just not his best game. And looking at Nick Foles in in the press conference, you see what kind of heart Nick Foles has, and that's the one thing that you love to see. If you're a football player, you see a guy who has heart. You know he has heart. Allows other players to play for a guy who they know is working hard in the locker room, watching tape, saying the right things, being that guy. So obviously, players want to play for other players. Nick Foles is a guy who's probably inspired these guys. He's a headstrong dude, makes good decisions. Just tonight, he did not make the right decisions. There was a lot of plays that he left out there, but he fought, and like he says, he fights. He fights with his teammates. They fight to get the extra yard. They fight to come back and play another play. Just because he might have had a bad game this game, is that going to mean that's going to mess up his career? And he's going to think about these plays that he made mistakes on. He's going to move forward, and that's something you have to commend Nick Foles for. But in terms of thinking about Nick Foles as the franchise guy, I think he had a great season. Sometimes coaches want to have their guy, the guy that they draft. I'm sure Chip Kelly and his mindset, he might want to draft a quarterback. We're not sure, but I think if you want to build around a guy like Nick Foles, you can. But that's what it is. But in the game, the defense played phenomenal. The guys are making plays. They were shutting down the Saints offense in the first quarter. I mean, they really did a phenomenal job. I thought, Billy Davis, put together a great, solid plan, taking out Jimmy Graham, 3 catches. I think Sproles had 4 catches. But all in all, they really did a good job, eliminating, their biggest playmaker in Jimmy Graham. And that was solid. I thought in the run game, we got gashed a little bit. Mark Ingram, I think, had 97 yards, touchdown. I thought they could have done better, but, and at the end of the game, special teams was huge. Whether it was Alex Henry missing the kick or not being able to kick the ball out of the end of the end zone, allowing Darren Sproles an opportunity to, get a good return. Kerry Williams, was he wrong for, doing the horse collar? If he thought that that's what he needed to do to get him down and didn't think that, someone else was there to make the tackle, then I guess that was a smart play on his hand. But they put the Saints in a perfect field position to make plays down the end of the road. They really gashed us. And how many times did we see Drew Brees QB sneak it right up the middle? So that's kind of frustrating, but you can go back and look at a lot of plays that really, changed the momentum of the game. Like Riley Cooper. Riley Cooper, first and foremost, had a pretty decent game in the sense that he made a huge catch on the 3rd down, crossing the back of the end zone, made a huge play on that for a touchdown. Made a couple big catches, but he did have a tough drop and wide open. Could have been, a huge play. And then around the end of the game, around the 3rd quarter or so. But you look at the way they used Deshaun Jackson. I mean, they only threw to him once in early in the first half, until their defensive back went out with injury. Then they started to light him up, made a nice, I think it was 20-some yard grab. That was the only play over 20 yards for the Eagles. But think about all the explosive plays that the Eagles had through the whole season, and only having one tonight that was pretty huge. Only 80 yards rushing. A team who leads the NFL in rushing, to be held to that is huge. I mean, that's a big part of what we do, the Philadelphia Eagles. So seeing that, it's tough. But it's just it's a tough situation. Um, it's it's a tough situation. There were so many plays that you could go back and reanalyze, and it's just tough. We just have to say thank you to the Philadelphia Eagles. Thank you for putting a product out on the field that we're actually proud of. The last couple of years has been tough for Eagles fans, but honestly, this organization has given us something to root for. Chip Kelly has put a nice product moving forward. Like, thinking about the future of the Eagles is something that you can be proud of. You know that everybody else knows that they see something. The culture that Chip Kelly's bringing to the table is pretty real deal. I mean, it's also an opportunity to bring in free agents into an atmosphere that they might want to play for, something exciting, something explosive. Who wouldn't want to be part of that, especially if you play on the offensive side of the ball? But you have to be proud of the players that you see out there. You see a lot of guys that are team players, guys that aren't me first guys, guys who like playing for Chip Kelly and like playing for each other. Nick Foles, you know, he sets the tone. He set the tone in the sense of, he's a guy that's fought to get in that opportunity to start. You look at a guy like Mike Vick, who helped Nick Foles along the way. A guy like that who's not even playing, but is also a leader in the locker room. You look down the line. There's a lot of players like D'Amico Ryan setting the tone for Michael Kendricks down the road. I mean, Donnie Jones, phenomenal special teams this season. There's a lot to look forward to, a lot to build off of. We have a nice nucleus on the offensive line. We have a nice nucleus all in all for a Eagles team moving forward. Yeah, man, it's tough. There's so many plays that I could break down, analyze, reanalyze, rewatch the game. I watched the game a second time already. But yeah, it's gonna be it's gonna be tough not to have the Eagles to watch next week. That's when the shock sets in. But we do have free agency. We do have the NFL draft. But Eagle Sessions is going to stick around. Thank you to all the all the support over the year and over the preseason. It's been great talking to all y'all. But yeah, man, Eagle fans, hold your head up high, man. We have a lot to be proud of. A lot to look forward to the future. But yeah, man, you still gotta live the dream now as a dream team. But you still gotta live the dream. Whatever it is you're doing out there, stay passionate. Stay passionate about your Eagles. Stay passionate about football because it's the best sport in the world. But I'm Gayle Saunders, Eagles Sessions, skinnypost.com. I will see you real soon because football season for me is 24/7, 365 days a year. So, with that being said, Eagle fans, love to know what you think about tonight's game. I know you guys are probably upset, but hold your head up high, man. We had a phenomenal run, and the Eagles gave it their best shot. So, hey, with that being said, you got to give props to that. But I'll see you guys soon. Gayle Saunders signing out.